Alpo once told Gully nobody slapped him that's still breathing. Well, George Chang hasn't been breathing for over 30 years before Alpo said that. Now you might ask, who the hell is George Chang? Well, tonight, we're gonna learn a little bit about him. Now, George Chang, aka Stretch, fresh out of East Flatbush, repping Troy Ave, a Chinese Jamaican, a part of a crew called Poison, and he was the youngest member. The youngest and most feared. It's always the young ones, because at that point it ain't about the money. They just want to be accepted and make a name for themselves, so they're willing to do anything to stamp their name in these streets. But yeah, people ain't want the crew to stick them on you. That's dangerous for you. The age difference was 10 years, so you could easily put something in the youngest ear and make come get with the program. Especially the youngins. The youngest that just want to impress the older fellas. He would do stick-ups, he went to war with different projects. His heart was purple before the age of 18. Going to war with grown men that were straight killers. Gunplay was just another day at the office. This man was just too out of control. His own homies started to fear him, and they were killers too. In this photo, he was 17 years old, already 10 toes at Rikers. At this time, everyone was happy he was off the streets. We all know about the wolves in Rikers Island. You wouldn't believe it if I told you that he was one of the wolves. I know a couple stories of some popular gangsters getting ran down on at Rikers that thought they was tough. This little man right here left without a scratch on him. He was really stamped. He really stamped himself. He started to recruit new members behind bars. Next thing you know, he was leading a crew. He started to make new friends and gain connections all over New York. From crash dummy status to baller status, he started to realize he needed some motion to move around the city. He got his money right and started to rub shoulders with guys like LL Cool J. When he brought LL Cool J to the hood, his status went sky high. He was very dangerous, but he knew how to conduct himself. His image started to become very flashy. He copped the gold Benz at the age of 17, and that was one of the many vehicles he had in his lineup. He started to draw so much attention, he started to show his face at public events, which was very dangerous because of the things he was doing in the streets. Now that we know a little bit about George Chang, the question is, did he slap Alpo? For a minute now, people have been searching all around, more and more about this information, and it's my job to cover it. Hopefully we put this thing to rest. The rumor is Alpo ran into LL at the Apollo. LL was with Chang. They was all in the building with their jewelry on. You know, they had their chains shining. You know how they was carrying it in the 80s. Alpo approaching them, talking how he talked. Whether or not if he was fronting or bigging them up, he got to touching LL chains. Then he went to touch Chang's jewelry. And that's when he allegedly slapped Alpo. Not only that, but he goes to his vehicle and pulls out the Uzi machine gun. Chang G might have been crazy, but he damn sure wasn't stupid. I don't agree with most of the things Alpo did, and y'all know that. But letting someone slap him without instant retaliation is out of the question. Even if he did slap him, he would have broke that little dude down unless he had some type of knowledge of any type of martial arts or something. But no, Alpo getting slapped at the Apollo in front of LL just doesn't sound right. He wouldn't be able to live that down. And you don't just walk up to somebody you don't know and touch their jewelry. Back in the 80s, New York, man, the chain snatching was at an all-time high. That was actually a hustle. But you don't get that close to a dangerous man like Stretch, so I don't think Poe would have been playing with him like that. But anyway, in 1988, Chang lost his life during the street war. He received 7 waist shots, so they was making sure that the job was done. His crew members got revenge for him though, taking out the 2 men that was responsible. Being a part of the street life, he was able to get what he wanted. We all know you won't last long just beefing openly and freely on the streets. That's the problem with most dudes in the game. A true player in the game knows you have to know your target and eliminate your target. If you're a person that's been in a lot of shootouts, it says a lot about your intelligence. Think about it. 90% of shootouts occur because someone missed. You never heard of Hitman being in the shootout. If so, there's a very slim chance. When did you ever hear Alpo being in shootouts? Never, because he was intelligent and played chess to a point that you never knew if he hated you or not. Most of his hits came with a handshake and a smile. Some would call it a coward move, some would call it chess. That's how the Italian mafia moved. Never give your opponent the opportunity to strike back. And that's why Alpo has so many wins over his opponents. Now, the way George Chang moved wasn't going to benefit him in the long run. You can't really move around if you have people on the street that wants to get rid of you. So the way Chang was moving, his death wasn't really surprising to people. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. The way that Alpo lost his life was very unexpected. It was a very unexpected way. You would think that he would be aware of how reckless these young bulls are in today's time, that they'll smoke you for nothing. You know the way Alpo mouth was, so he probably said something that made the young bull feel small inside. And, instead of going upside his head, he had to grab the heat. But, that's it for the night. Thanks for tuning in. Show some love before you leave. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. I'm out.